Good evening, everybody. We're so excited to be bringing you this amazing call with Amy Revell here tonight. I'm Natasha Denman, and you can see both of our brands there side by side. And I'm super excited to introduce you, but I have got my notepad, pen, and paper ready right next to her as she will take the floor and just deliver this amazing stuff. She talks about decluttering. Now, Amy and I met about 6 months ago, and she came to my home for one of my home-based events for Ultimate 48-Hour Author and ended up completing my program in the fastest time. So she is the current record holder. It was 9 days to complete the content writing, yes, and then 43 days to get it published. And every time I meet with her, she's got so many cool little tips. We just did a live stream and she shared a couple also on Facebook. And now she's got, I've just gone through this PowerPoint a little bit before we started. I'll go, oh my God, she's got so much gold in store for you. So just to make sure you guys can see the PowerPoint and hear us, can we get a couple of hellos in the questions box to make sure we're not just talking to ourselves? And something while that's happening, Amy really's been hey, Leanne, nice to see you. Hi, Frances.
Hi, Frances.
She's a few people saying hello, so that's awesome. Well, Amy's been professionally organising for the last 4 years, but I think has been a lifelong student of decluttering and organising and being super, super efficient. And hey, Kerry from the Gold Coast. And I love that about her because actually every single tip I've ever heard her say makes so much sense and makes life so much easier. And myself, from personal experience, I'm big on having things minimal around my house. A couple of you that have been on the call or have been to my home, you would know everything's kind of spick and span here. But the way we do it is we declutter twice a year. Once sort of just as winter sets in and we're not sort of able to go outside of the house, and then we spend a lot more time around the home in Christmas, which is right now. I'm literally planning my declutter this Sunday, so that's why I've got my pen and paper ready. But also in the past, I have engaged people like yourself. I didn't know you back then, Amy, otherwise you would have been the person who have come to help me with my office. And that's been so much like a 3-4 hour session or whatever of what we did together. And it almost it cuts down the procrastination. You're not sort of just moving around. Like, it's really good to have that second person, obviously an expert like yourself is really amazing.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to share. So I'm going to let Amy take the floor. Hi, Joanne. So I can see here that you can also hear us. Please write comments, questions, and we'll stop every 5 or so minutes to address them because I know Amy's got a whole lot of stuff to share with you guys. So Amy, please. Tell us what you've got.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Nat, for having me. I'm pretty excited tonight to be sharing with you some amazing tips and tricks around decluttering your life and business this Christmas. So as Nat said, if you've got questions, you can pop them in your comment box. I will try and get to as many of them as possible. I know from experience, whenever I talk to groups about decluttering, the questions could go on all night. So please get them in early. We don't want to miss any at the end. Okay, so Christmas as a parent is one of my absolute favourite times of the year. Interestingly, my kids aren't that interested in presents. So for them, the highlights of Christmas are swimming at the grandparents on Christmas Day, lots of food, playing with their cousins, water fights, and of course, school holidays. In fact, several years ago, my son, when he was 5, he got what we called present fatigue. So on Christmas Day, every time a new person handed him a present, he would respond with, "Oh no, I already have so many toys." And it was actually quite embarrassing because adults want to see kids open the presents and they want to see their smiles and their delight. And it took him until mid-January to finish opening his presents that year. He's 10 now, absolutely no problem in receiving and opening presents. So as soon as our calendar turns to December, we kind of have a big Advent countdown. So there's lots of Christmas craft going on in our house and a general relaxation comes over us because we know that we've entered the home stretch of the year. So the end is in sight. We know that we can make it. For us, December is like the reward for getting through the 11 preceding months. So for us, Christmas feels joyful, peaceful, relaxed, and rewarding, and we're pretty happy for our December. But maybe you get to December and you feel overwhelmed or stressed or feel like you just wish you could skip Christmas and get straight to a New Year's party. Some people I know like Christmas, but they really, really like New Year's. So instead of the excitement, you're kind of dreading that awkward family get together, the credit card bills that you don't quite expect, the custody issues lots of people have, or as many of you would know, the fear of business slowing down over the Christmas break. So for some of you, Christmas is actually stressful, anxiety-ridden, full of dread and overwhelming. And perhaps you feel a little bit like a Grinch instead of Mrs. Claus. But I've got some tips that I can help you with. Unfortunately, I don't have tips to help with the awkward family get-togethers. You'll have to deal with that one on your own. But I do have some tips that'll help you manage and recover well from the Christmas period. So tonight I want to share with you how to declutter your life and business this Christmas. And I'm going to share with you a few different things. So how December is the new February, your greatest gift to yourself and your business, the easiest way to buy and organise Christmas gifts, the state of your office is a reflection of your business and how to be your own boss, hot tips to make Christmas easier with children, and importantly, how to make some extra money over Christmas to ease any quiet financial patches. So I hope those topics appeal to you. Let's get started because I've got heaps to share and the clock will just keep on ticking. So December is the new February. You've probably heard that 40 is the new 30, but what you may not have heard is that December is the new February. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you went to high school at one of the exclusive grammar schools, you may have seen or experienced that their education system actually starts a new year in November or December. So other schools start to slow down. I know schools start to have muck-up days and activity days, craft days and sports days, but the private schools actually give their students a taste of what the following year will look like. So they get the orientation done, they might, to the students' despair, give them some holiday homework that can put them ahead. And December can be the new February in your business too. You can either pack up shop in December, assuming that everyone is going away and you're going to have to lose momentum, so you might as well, have a break, or you can give yourself a head start for 2017. So what does it look like? Well, a couple of suggestions. If you've got new programs or products that you're thinking of launching in February, once everyone's kind of back into the school routine, how about you get them ready now? So rather than kind of leaving it to the first week of Feb, maybe when the kids go back to school or you feel like your clients are back on board, get those things ready now. So don't wait until February for what you can do in December. Imagine if your momentum didn't actually stop over December, January, that your momentum kept growing in the business. Imagine what 2017 would look like. So that doesn't mean that you don't take any time off, but it does mean that you take advantage of tools that you can maybe schedule some posts or schedule emails. You might set aside only 1 or 2 hours a week that is specifically to be connecting with your clients, but just don't let things completely go. Another thing is if you've got something you're releasing, start your pre-sales now. So I think Stu actually stole my thunder on this last night and talked a little bit about pre-sales for things for next year. So if you've got a deposit or people can actually come and sign up now, that's a great way to help them make some really good decisions in December that will set them up for a 2017 that's really successful. A couple more tips. So I'm big into planning. I know Nat's big into planning too. So I've already planned and scheduled all of my 2017 blogs. So I went through and from all the topics that clients have been asking me about this year, I've written down my 52 weekly blogs and I've actually started to write those because otherwise I've got to come up with one every week. And I find that when I'm in a good rhythm and good routine, I can actually, push them out because I've got a bit of a creative flow going for them.
I've been doing like my Facebook posts every Monday for the week.
Oh, that's great.
And also what we do this time of the year is book all our flights up until June, 6 months of flights, where I'm flying and our venues. So right now we're finally getting ahead on the USA venues and Australian ones already booked. So
that's brilliant.
Great time of the year to do all the logistics. So you're just going out there.
It is, and that's probably found this. If you're booking venues, you can actually, maybe book for a year and find that you can get a better deal, or that you don't have to stress as the year goes on.
No, and it's a full-time job for someone to be looking and booking flights, accommodation, car hires, and venues, especially if you're not based in just one spot. So, but the writing stuff, you're absolutely right. It's really difficult to think up of stuff right on the spot. And I've been doing every Monday. I sit down and write 6 posts. Then my virtual assistant spreads through different groups, and I've been getting a huge response and growth in my, I guess, exposure over this quite a period.
That's great. And I think the good thing with that too, Nat, is that you end up with consistency of business presentation. Is that you're not reactive, you're actually proactive in the way that you do your scheduling. I've also done my videos. So I started pre-recording my 2017 videos. I release 1 a week to my inner circle and my clients. So again, they're different topics to the blog topics. So really I had to come up with 104 different topics. Now, being a lady, I didn't want to have the same top in every video. So I had my little wardrobe ready to go, and hair, necklace and top changed, as well as I carried my laptop around the house and actually set up in different spots. So now when I look back, I can't even tell which videos were taken on the same day, because it does. The momentum for that really works. Another tip to get ahead in December for your February stuff is to actually network before official networking groups get underway. So a lot of places are having their Christmas parties and finishing up for the year. Instead of just taking 6 to 8 weeks off, if there's someone that you've connected with really well, or a group, have a Skype call, get together for an intimate coffee, and actually use December, January as your friendship time, rather than necessarily just always being business time.
You know what they say, the best business and deals are made on the golf course for men.
Exactly.
And to tell you the truth, the last 2 nights I was at Christmas parties, made 2 really good connections.
Brilliant.
And have followed up, and things are happening. And I think in the social times is where most people will say
stuff. It is, because you're more yourself in the social time when you're not trying to hard sell, and you're actually just showing a passion. That's what people love.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got any questions, make sure you pop them up there. We're going to keep pushing through, because I've got lots and lots of gold to share with you. So I want to talk to you about your greatest gift to yourself and your business at Christmas. So some of you, it might be family time and going out bike riding, or you might be thinking, oh, a device-free weekend away with my loved one. Maybe it's a new device or a new gadget for you, but I want to actually suggest something a little bit different that you can give yourself and your business this Christmas. And it's good old-fashioned pastoral care, a bit of genuine loving. So a couple of questions so that you understand what that means. It's, who is it that refreshes you? Who asks you thoughtful and caring questions? Who do you walk away from feeling encouraged and inspired? And how can you be that person for your clients, suppliers, or business partners this Christmas? So I found that Christmas is a really generous time. I'm sure you've experienced that. People are always wanting to donate to those less fortunate, and charities are huge beneficiaries of generosity over December. But what's really interesting is that Christmas is also the most lonely time of the year for people. Depression, anxiety, loneliness are rife, along with domestic violence, suicide, and substance abuse. So people are crying out for someone to love them, not just give them a handout. And the great news is that you can be that for your clients and your business partners. It's often said that people buy people. And so I believe that your greatest gift over December is to actually love on some people. So why don't you find the person that does refresh you and schedule in an intentional coffee just to feel good, and actually give that to your clients as well. So maybe pick a dozen clients that over the next 3 weeks you're going to give a call, not sell anything, but you're just calling to see how they're going. Is there anything, you can support them through, or that kind of thing. Purchasing gifts. Everybody loves purchasing gifts, because it's one area that you can actually get a head start on before December. In fact, retailers will often encourage you to start your Christmas shopping in July. Have you ever noticed that the toy retailers have massive sales in July, and they promise the best price on toys? And here's why, is that they know that your kids have probably finished playing with their Christmas toys by July. And they also know that in Australia, it's tax return time. So you're actually hoping for a really healthy tax return, and they're hoping that you'll go out in July and spend that at their shops. But they're not silly. They hope for 1 or 2 results, because they don't actually want you to do your Christmas shopping in July. What they want you to do is take your Christmas shopping home, and then slowly over the next couple of weeks hand out those presents to your children, because you love them and it's cold and there's not a lot to do, and actually hand out and use all those Christmas presents. Or Alternatively, they will offer you, I think it's called an interest-free or fee-free lay-by till Christmas. So effectively, they'll put it out of sight and out of mind for you. And so then when it gets closer to Christmas, you're heading back to the shops to buy presents, totally forgetting what it is that you purchased in July. So I don't want to poo-poo all the retailers for doing it, because we're part of that cycle. But what I really want you to do is be aware that they really want to double dip into your Christmas money. They want to take a lot in July and then take another portion in December. And I've lost count of the amount of clients who say, I always spend more than I intend when it comes to Christmas shopping. And look, if you're in a financial position to not watch pennies, absolutely go for it. But if you're like a lot of us who run our own businesses and manage family finances, then being a savvy Christmas shopper definitely has its rewards.
Yes, every year my mother says, no, this year we're not going to go crazy. And
famous last words.
Up until the 10 days to go. So everything's kind of good till the 15th of December, and then we absolutely go crazy.
Yeah. Because you see cool stuff, and we love our kids, and we go, oh, but they'd really love that. Yeah. It's just one extra thing. It's only $20, and it really builds up, which is, you know, that's just life. But just to be aware of it more than to be a Grinch about it. Or if you buy something, you get home, you go, oh, I forgot I already bought them something. So I've done that. I know you've done that. So what I would suggest, and what I do myself, is I keep a list of everyone I want to buy for Christmas. And then I keep a list alongside that of what I've already purchased. So I'm going to show you a copy of what that looks like. So there it is. You can see that up the top there's a space for the year that it currently is, name, the gift that you've purchased for them, the cost, if it was a KK present, and if it was a group gift. So I use that every single year. And if you're particularly organised like me, I actually keep those so that each year I know what I bought the year before.
Very good idea.
So my poor dad doesn't get garden statues every year, and my poor grandma doesn't get a brooch every year. I can actually go through and it just gets packed away with our Christmas decorations. So when we pull it out, I can actually refer back to it. So I'm going to send you a copy of that after the call tonight so that you too can use it. You can print it off and use it as you want. Wrapping presents. I saw that Nat's already got heaps of presents under her tree. Ours are wrapped but not under the tree yet because the kids are playing basketball in the same area, and I'm scared that they're going to play indoor basketball and wreck the presents. But my hot tip for you around wrapping gifts is to different wrapping paper for different groups of family and friends. So I'm one of 5 kids. My husband's one of 4. So our Christmases are relatively large and lots of kids, lots of presents. So I keep it really simple. Cal's family gets one type of wrapping paper, my family get a different type of wrapping paper, and our kids get a third type. So I quite like them to match. So this year they're red and silver, but different reds and silvers underneath the Christmas tree. So when we go to someone's house, we know just pick up this particular type, and we don't do that awkward get to the event, have missed present under the tree, and you know it sits there and keeps going. Thank you, Francis. It is a good wrapping paper idea. I give you permission to steal that one.
And Pauline says loves the list idea. Thank you guys. Yes,
the list is great, Pauline. You'll get a copy of that later. So in line with Christmas gifts, so wrapping is really important, but what do you do with Christmas gifts for your business partners, right? So business gifts. I'm going to suggest, hopefully I'm not stepping on your toes, that hampers, wine and chocolates have been done to absolute death. And, you know, if you want to add a bottle of wine to someone's gift, that's fine. But how about you make the gift itself something really original and thoughtful? So I want you to answer in the question box, tell me what the greatest gift someone could give your business this Christmas is. Is it a bottle of wine? Is it gold class movie tickets? What is the greatest gift that somebody could give your business? I know what mine is, and it's certainly not organisational tips. I know that's awesome. A referral, Kerry, that's exactly what it is. So what if we can give each other clients for Christmas? And we obviously can't wrap them up, but there are some creative ways that we can pass on our love to our business partners. So what about a 3-minute video testimony? So what if you record it on an area of someone's business that has totally rocked your socks this year, and then send it to them and say, this is my Christmas present to you.
I'm writing that down.
That's gold. You could even ask people, for Christmas this year, what I would like is a business referral, a 3-minute video testimony.
Nice.
What about if you leave a Google review, a Facebook review, or a LinkedIn recommendation? So things that require your time but don't necessarily end up taking you going to the shops and buying different gifts for them. What about you connect them with someone of influence? So you guys obviously have lots of people in your circles, and you know that there are people that can connect really well. What if you were able to pass on your greatest web designer's details, or your graphic designer, or an area in their business that you're currently kicking goals in? I want you to do that for your business partners. But what about clients? They're probably less interested in those kind of things. Client gifts can be a little bit different. So you could send them a seminar or a video that will add value to them. If you've got an early bird price for a new program, so I think Stu even said last night, if you've got a 2017 program, you could offer them a 2016 price, and that's a great present. Save them some money. You could send out vouchers for the next investment with you and maybe let them know what's coming up. Now, this is just a pet peeve, and I thought I better put it in because generically printed Christmas cards do my head in. So I get them, I probably shouldn't tell you who I get them from, but I get them from a few people that I've had connections with over the years, and nothing in it is handwritten. It's just a printed card from the printer, and you can tell that a receptionist has just written my name on the front of the card, on the envelope, and sent it out. So for me, that actually does damage to my relationship with the people that I receive it from. I would much prefer to not hear from them at Christmas, but maybe get some value-adding email in June or August, or something that actually builds into the friendship and relationship. That's just me, but I had to put that in because it's a real thing that I'm not keen on. All right, the state of your office is a reflection of your business. A few comments in there. Let's go.
Francis is stealing your
Steal it,
gift wrapping
Francis.
idea, a referral and Facebook advertising, one of the presents. That is an awesome idea, Amy.
Thanks,
I think that
Pauline.
was for the video testimonial.
Yeah.
I handwrite all mine.
Francis, see, that's gold.
Yeah. And they're not branded, so really personal.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
I reckon if they're handwritten, even if they are branded a little bit, I would even have a think about how you could brand without it seeming corporate. So last year I sent out Christmas cards, so handmade Christmas cards that had not my branding, didn't have Simply Organised on it, but it had the little house from my logo with a Christmas tree on it. So really, really cute. Soft branding. And then I hand wrote inside. So I think, Angela, that's handwriting cards is a really good idea. And yeah, Francis, I agree.
Something subtle.
Something subtle.
Oh yeah, get someone on Fiverr to design that. Yeah. Give them your logo and put a Christmas feel on one part of it. As you said.
Yeah, I really like that. Thanks, ladies. So if that's a picture of your office, you'll know exactly what the next little bit's going to be about. Oprah says that the state of your bedroom is a state of your marriage, which can potentially be a little bit daunting for some people. If you've got boxes in the corner of your bedroom or clothes lying on the floor, or even if you've got a small child that sleeps between you and your partner. But my experience of businesses is very similar. So Nat's office is beautifully organised, very systematic, but still enjoyable to work in. And I can't imagine that this office on the photo is any of those things. Nobody wants to turn up to work and be faced with that. You want to turn around and go home straight away. So if you've got paperwork piling up that hasn't been actioned, I would suggest perhaps that you've also got clients maybe that are falling through the cracks, that you haven't caught up everyone that's interested. Digital files aren't filed correctly or easy to access. I actually got hired a couple of years ago by a guy that was managing a company that had grown very, very quickly to organise his computer files, and it took me over 2 weeks. 2 weeks of full-time work. Yeah. It was absolutely disastrous. Nothing was named, nothing was filed, so I had to actually go in and read documents to then title them properly. Big, big no-no. So make sure your digital files are sorted. Because if they're not, I'm guessing that you're also not on top of your social media campaigns, because these things are actually a reflection of what else is going on in your business. So if your BAS and tax returns are not lodged on time, I would then ask the question, how are your finances going in the business? If your emails sometimes get missed and your inbox never gets down to under 20 emails, like, I'm not saying that you're lazy or that you don't care, but you perhaps do need someone to help you set up some systems. So every single time that I work with small business owners, and I help them declutter and organise their workspace, I get the same feedback, that it releases a flow of creativity that they've been absolutely desperate for. So I have worked with a couple of artists who stereotypically need a little bit more help in the organising department, and I've just loved to see the creativity that comes out after we've had our session. Getting organised prepares you to land a contract or client you've been working on for months. So again, I had someone only a couple of months ago. So we went in, reorganised her home office, and I got a phone call only a couple of days later to say that she'd been pushing on this contract. Once she sorted out her space, she decluttered her space and her mind, she landed that contract straight away. And that's not uncommon. That's something I hear very, very regularly.
I remember when I used to coach one-on-one, and sometimes in my files, clients who had stopped coaching or finished coaching with me, hadn't moved those files into sort of old client files, and they took up all the room in my different pockets. And then one day I would decide, why do I keep putting them there? Just put them away in the sort of archives. And I'd clean it out, and literally I'd pick up 3 or 4 new clients to fill in those new spots.
As soon as you start to create the space, I think even as a professional organiser, that happens to me quite a lot.
And Francis says, my office looks like this photo some of the time. No,
Francis, you know better than that.
You're an interior designer.
That's right. I'm sure your office is beautiful. But, hopefully you can pick up a few tips, because even on busy days and when things are crazy, my desk can get to the point where I need to spend 10 minutes decluttering it as well. So nobody's exempt.
Oh, yeah. After events, I have so much product everywhere.
It's about having the discipline and the desire to have it, wanting to have it organised, and then putting into practice the things that you've learnt. So the last one was payment you've been chasing from clients finally hits your bank account. I don't know what the science behind this is. All I can tell you is that I see it happen regularly for clients. They finally start getting organised, and all of a sudden there's a bit more of a flow in their finances, which is exciting. And if you want any of those things, let it be your motivation for getting your office decluttered and organised. Just like that one. So breakthrough in business often follows getting organised in business. So the reason for that is because when you physically declutter, you also mentally declutter. So decluttering is focusing on what's important. So if you're decluttering, say, the kitchen, you ask of every single item in the kitchen, is this important enough to occupy space in my home? And the same goes for your office. You're physically and mentally culling the distractions that have crept into your business. When you're running your own business, it can be tempting to jump on board things that are new and shiny and the newest craze. And you'll know those things because you have the brochures and samples, but nothing else to show for it. So decluttering will help you focus on the things that will take you forward. So your brain can't multifunction or multitask with so much stuff on your desk. You actually need to simplify, and then you can focus and assess where you're at. And just as a side note, if you've ever been to a course and ever done a coaching seminar or a personal development course, anything where effectively you were the student, you probably came home with course notes and folders and handouts and all that kind of thing. And 99% of you will never look back over those notes because the value is no longer in the piece of paper. The value is actually inside of you and the ways you've changed and the changes you've made to your thinking and the new things you've developed in your business. So if you've got notes from courses that you've been to that you haven't looked back on in even the last 3 or 4 months, I'd say you need to get rid of them. Because when you get notes at a course, they're actually motivational. They've got really helpful information in them, and while you're at the course, you're changing and growing and your brain's expanding. But as soon as you get those notes home, they're no longer inspirational, and often they're carriers of guilt. And it might be guilt that you didn't put into place everything that you learned, or guilt that the course cost you a certain amount of money and you didn't make any sales as a result. But what I would say to you is that the value is not in the notes, the value is in your head. So it's time for business owners to stop filling their shelves with trophy notes and actually trust that you learnt what you needed to learn from a course. So even if you can't specify specific things that you actually put into practice, you need to know that you were taking that stuff in and you've grown and developed, and those course notes are no longer serving you a purpose. Be your own boss. Have you ever said either of these two statements? I'm my own boss, or I am the answer to myself. Thanks, Erin. I'm glad that's great advice. I'm really hoping this is serving you guys. So I'm my own boss, or I only answer to myself. I've probably said those things. I know you've probably said those things, but what I want to encourage you with is, this is just a bit of a side note to the business, is that you really do need to be your own boss and ask yourself, if you were an employee, how would you treat yourself? So what are your expectations on yourself? What areas of growth would you bring up if you had an annual review? It's time to step up and actually get bossy with yourself, because being your own boss doesn't mean you don't have a boss. It actually means you need to be the boss, and you need to be motivated to be all you can be in your business. So if I was to have staff members who had totally unorganized desks and they weren't using their time well, I know that I would bring that up as an area of growth. So I want you to just challenge yourself that if that is an area for you, be bossy and tell yourself to do something about it, get the help where it's needed. All right, I hope this is helpful. A couple more tips to share with you. Being simply organised with children. Is it even possible now? Is it?
It is. But sometimes you got to, same as your office can get a bit messy while you're packing or unpacking things, or, you've come back from somewhere, or you've been working for the day. At the moment, I feel like there is a few things out on the desk where we are, but I know that by the end of the day, I'll just put it all away. Yeah, it's perfect. So same with the children, they've got a rumpus room that's going to get, with toys everywhere. But at the end of the day, if you train them to pack up their stuff and pack up after the baby, like we have a baby who can't do it yet, everyone can just get into good habits. And people often say, do you even have children living at your house? Or they come for our events?
That's right, because we're not trying to hide our children, but we don't want to look like a day centre, do we?
No.
We want to be able to have things sorted. And Christmas can be a really challenging time where children are sometimes home 6 to 8 weeks. So for those of you with children at Christmas, you'll be familiar with this little story. You've been out all day, you've been to a Christmas lunch, you've maybe had a roast followed by some yummy dessert, Christmas presents, and then you rush off to the second Christmas party, leftovers for dinner, more dessert, you're absolutely stuffed, couldn't fit another thing in. You get in the car and the kids say, what do they say? I'm hungry. You think, how in the world? We've just fed you for 10 hours nonstop. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to someone else's house for Christmas, I'd suggest pack a healthy snack for the way home. This is just a simple way to stay organised, because they will say that they're hungry, that you've fed them food all day, but for some reason they always come into the car snackish and hungry. So do that quick little thing, chuck a banana in. You'll actually be surprised how that helps you on Christmas Day. Another hot tip is to pack the PJs if you're going to be out much past their bedtimes. So when you're leaving your final event, throw them in their jammies. So when you put them in the car, they're actually starting to feel sleepy, starting to relax, because Christmas is majorly exciting for kids. They don't want to sleep Christmas Eve or Christmas. They just want to keep going. So they're two really simple tidbits that I know has helped our family around Christmas time, or on Christmas Day, to be more specific. Okay, so I think I mentioned this on the live stream before. Take your gifts or food to Christmas parties in a washing basket or flexi tub. So I give you permission, as the only day of the year, that you may take your things around in a washing basket or flexi tub, because everything you need for Christmas just cannot possibly fit in your largest handbag. So what we do is we put all our Christmas presents in the washing basket to take to our first Christmas party. And the great thing about that is presents don't slide around the boot and get ripped. The paper doesn't get ripped on the corners and ribbons don't get squashed. We actually just put it all in there, and then my hubby, when we get there, pulls the washing basket out, walks in and can put everything underneath the tree. So that, from our perspective, makes things simple. But there's another tip around that I love even more, and that's once the kids do get presents at Christmas, we actually pop them back in the tub.
Oh, good idea.
Because lots of kids don't want to actually wait to open up the Lego or the remote control helicopter, and so there's batteries and instruction manuals and warranties, and pieces can go everywhere. So for us, the kids know everything goes in the washing basket. And, if a jumper comes off during the middle of the night, a salad bowl gets returned. That's kind of our little homing station.
Yeah.
Everything goes in there. Even our phones, when we're not taking photos or whatever, that is like our home in a basket.
Yeah.
And then when we go, we can easily unpack that when we get home. Because if you've ever been to a big Christmas like we have, there's just wrapping paper everywhere by about lunchtime. Bonbon hats and bad jokes and little knickknacks. And, you know, so far using this system, we've never lost a piece of a toy on Christmas Day. So
wow.
Go on. The Flexi Tabs are $5 from Kmart, so no excuses. They're really easy to use.
Francis says West Elm have big soft square bags with handles that go over the shoulders and they fit
good one,
heaps in.
Francis.
You just need to buy stuff from West Elm. I use them to cart masses of stuff around for interior jobs, so perfect for presents. There you go, guys.
That's
West
great,
Elm.
Francis. Thank you.
And Pauline, the washing basket is brilliant. We usually have 1 million plastic bags.
Yeah, well, the thing that I found, Pauline, along with the plastic bags or even the Coles recyclable shopping bags, those green ones, is that they're still not firm enough to actually keep things safe. Yeah. The washing basket, you know, you can be pretty sure that if you're putting presents in there, they're not going to get ripped or banged about. So great ideas, ladies. Thank you so much for that. And as a reward for being so interactive, let me help you earn some extra Christmas money. Woohoo! So I don't actually believe that Christmas does need to shut down for businesses over Christmas. I think absolutely you can, and that can be your personal choice if you take your holidays over Christmas. But I've got a few suggestions for you on how you can reduce stress by being organised and making some extra cash. So firstly, anything that comes into your home over Christmas that was an upgrade, sell online the product that it's replacing. So that could be phones, bikes, gaming consoles, anything like that. Christmas is an amazing time, or is a time where we often replace and upgrade things. So currently we have one iPad, and the children both need new iPads for their schooling next year. So the school offers you that you can buy them through the school in February. But what my husband and I decided is we'd kill two birds with one stone. So we're having them delivered next week so that their kids can get them for Christmas. So the iPad 2 that we currently have, I've actually already sold it, and a lady's coming on Boxing Day to pick it up. And we got a really good price for it, in good condition. We don't need a third iPad. You know, lots of people keep a just-in-case phone or a just-in-case iPad, a just-in-case gaming console. But that's just money sitting in your homes and cluttering up your homes. And so I would suggest as soon as you get something that you're upgrading, pop the other thing online. And the good thing about selling electronics and phones and things like that is the sooner that you sell them, the more money that they're worth. So I would do that as soon as you've done Christmas Day, and kids won't miss it. If you've bought them a new iPad, they're not going to miss the old one because they're never going to play with it again.
No.
So if you find that over December and January you can't think of creative ways to increase your incomings, reduce your outgoings. Ring your utility companies or your insurance agency, your internet provider, your phone plan. Think of ways to reduce the money that you're spending instead of just trying to increase the money that comes in. So I know for us, in December and January, I always, every single year, ring our insurance companies for all our different insurances that we have, and can be amazed in a couple of hours of bit of work for me, we can sometimes have $500-600, which is the same as what I'd earn in a day. So a day's work for a couple of hours calling around and reducing some of those costs. Hope this is helpful for you. So over January, you may find that your Australian clients are a bit quiet, but think about the whole world. If you've got products that you can actually sell over January to those who aren't holidays, do it. If you've got e-courses or books or any online training, anything like that, think about your international market and maybe spend a month doing that where you can get sales from overseas instead of just from Australia.
That's what I'll be doing.
Exactly.
And I'm already having lots of conversations.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. And my final suggestion to make some extra money over the holidays is to really get in touch with your clients' needs, because their pain points will usually change over the holidays. So their pain points may be around balancing work and life, or how to start New Year's and keep New Year's resolutions. They might be looking for activities for their kids or ways to network in less formal settings. So have a think about your clients and how you could perhaps service them differently and creatively over the summer holidays. So your January offer might look very different to your April offer, but your clients are human just like you, so their needs will ebb and flow, and so your business can actually move with them. For me, my clients are often mums and small business owners and entrepreneurs, but over January, getting organised with mums is not a great time for me to say go in and do their kitchen, because they're constantly feeding kids and they've got people running around, and that's not a great time for kitchen sessions. but it is a great time to help them declutter toys, or the tension between parents and their kids actually can escalate after Christmas when there's just toys everywhere and nothing's got a place to go. So what I also offer over January is sessions for children. So my normal decluttering sessions are, say, 4 hours long, but from experience, I know that kids can only stay concentrating and work for about 2 hours. So I adjust my packages for January. And so parents who would otherwise be nagging their kids to pack up can actually purchase a 2-hour session with me. So I'm addressing the parents' pain point, but not reducing the value of what I offer, just changing what I offer. So have a really good think about how you can create different products. You might be a personal trainer and you can actually say to mum, sign up early for a package, and then I will send you drip feeding these great ideas over January. And then you can be looking forward to February when the kids are back at school and you can actually come and do the personal training one-on-one. So use this time to get really creative with that.
We've got a couple of comments.
Let's have a look, ladies.
Pauline,
yes,
they're all up. Tip out in the boot with the bags.
They do, Pauline.
I've still got prams in my garage and stuff. And the kids are fine.
Sounds like we might need a hot date, Frances.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it can be really tempting to keep things long after they're gone, but getting rid of the baby stuff is just so freeing. If you've definitely shut up shop, getting rid of all that baby stuff is awesome, because it really signifies the end of one season and embraces the next season. Yeah,
and that's where we are sort of, I think I could have you full-time for a month to sort my stuff out. Yeah, I love it.
Beautiful. I think we'll click over, and if you guys have got any questions, keep calm and we'll get you organised.
Yeah, so now's an opportunity. Either this is what I encourage you to maybe share what was your most powerful tip of what Amy said, and maybe an aha moment or a question. We're getting down to the pointy end of the session, and we'll share with you what awesome stuff Amy's got coming up. But yeah, for me, Amy, it was that 3-minute video, like 3 minute. Why did I say 3 minute? A video testimonial, a LinkedIn recommendation as a gift, from my clients or to ask people around, and or to ask to be connected with someone of influence. I think that would add value. Like you said, chocolates and wine and things like that.
That's and you can buy those things for yourself. What you can't buy for yourself is a recommendation. Yes. You can't ethically buy a recommendation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's probably people on Fiverr going,
that's right.
For $5 and all that sort of stuff. All right, Leanne's saying, I like the state of my office is a reflection of my business. I think I'll be doing a big declutter tomorrow.
Beautiful, Leanne. So if you're going to do a big declutter tomorrow, let me give you a couple of tips on how to get started really well. The first thing I would say to you is get a garbage bag, and right off the gate, I want you to just fill the garbage bag with any rubbish that you've got, because it's really hard to organise if you haven't decluttered. So decluttering always needs to precede organisation, because otherwise you're organising stuff that you don't need to keep. So I would do that first, and then just have a look around your office and see if you can use the space that you've got in a different way. So you might find that you've got a filing cabinet that you no longer need, but if you bought a couple of those filing boxes from Officeworks, you could actually keep those in the bottom of a cupboard. So, office spaces can be really visually cluttering, and that's not helpful to you when you're working. You actually need to have visual calm while you're decluttering and while you're working. So there are a couple of tips, hopefully they get you on your way. Kerry, I did a review for a client's business last night, and I got him a referral as well, so that was good, but I like the idea of a video. Pleasure, Kerry. I think that is really, it's a really unique gift, and it's a gift that I know I would really appreciate. You're a real hoarder and need a huge declutter. Kerry, it is so good for the soul and for everything in your life. You'll actually find that it's quite addictive. So once you start, I can pretty much promise you that you won't want to stop, because it feels so good.
It does.
You get endorphins and you feel much better and you can think clearer. In my book, I share a story of a new mum who wasn't getting any sleep, and her kitchen had become out of control. And so I went when her baby was about 16 weeks old, and she sat on the couch and I did her kitchen for her. And at the end, she just said to me, my head feels clear. Like I actually feel like a fog has lifted.
Yes.
And so you're right. Like if you're feeling like you're a hoarder and need that decluttering, absolutely go for it. You can do it. It's
Perfect
brilliant.
time. Perfect time.
Let's have a look at some of these other ones.
Thank you, Pauline.
It's taken you a while to start, Kerry.
Yeah.
Once you started, I think you'll find it quite addictive. And I'll get you some details of how you can actually follow some of my blogs, and I give you weekly challenges so that you can do it in bite-sized pieces. I love doing, personally love doing a declutter in a big chunk.
Yeah.
So I'm not a little bit by little bit kind of person. I'm an all-in, and that's how I work with my clients. But once they're at maintenance stage, little bit by little bit is the next step.
Yeah.
So, Pauline, what do you think about candles and flowers in an office? Do you mean giving those as gifts, Pauline, or do you mean displaying them in an office? If you can,
I think she means having them.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, displaying. Yeah, beautiful. If that's something that inspires you and calms you and gets you creative, Pauline, absolutely. But I think my suggestion with candles would be is if you're going to have some candles in the office, use them. There's no point having maybe 6 candles in the office that are there just to be looked at. So I know one of my clients recently gave me a beautiful coconut candle, and I'm not someone who goes out and buys myself candles. So I put it on my desk, and every single day for the next week, I lit the candle and just loved it. So I would say if you've got those things, either have them as something that is useful or inspiring and beautiful. A light one each morning to get in the mood for work. Perfect, Pauline. That's exactly what I'm saying. You're awesome. Absolutely all over it.
And I know Pauline's a pretty organised person.
You are organised, Pauline. Pauline did a guest blog for me about a week ago because we're so aligned in our organisation and streamlining things. Thanks, Erin. Thank you. Some great tips. Brilliant. Francis, I actually buy designer high-end candles that are gifts for my clients. Oh, that's a bit nice.
Yeah.
I might have to become one of your clients so I can get a high-end candle. That's what I received from my client the other day. It certainly wasn't a candle from just any old shop. I could tell that it was a really high standard, good essence, proper candle. So I think there's a quote, and I've forgotten who it's by, I apologise, but it says, don't keep anything in your home that you don't believe to be beautiful or useful. And so candles are something that are beautiful. Having a really beautiful candle can actually relax you or get you in the mood and that kind of thing. But if it's just there as clutter, I'd say absolutely get rid of it. And flowers, they're fine while they're beautiful and they're flowering. Just make sure once they kind of get to droopy stage, it's time to get rid of them.
I know. I love it. And I think, like you say, I like doing it in bigger chunks. I don't do it all in one day, but say this week, or if we have a long weekend, like when there's 4 days, because I don't work Fridays, and if the public holidays on the Monday, we try to achieve it over those 4 days.
Perfect.
So we do 2 spots, say, per day, and some might take us an hour or 2.
Yeah.
Because once you've done it a few times, decluttering is not as big a job.
Absolutely. The maintenance of decluttering is so much easier than starting out. I know I even try and explain that to clients. Is our first session in 4 hours, we may get through quite a what seems like a small amount of space. But as we set up systems, the next room is quicker because all of a sudden we know where the batteries go, we know where the candles go, we know how many sheets we need for each set of bed. And so those decisions are made in the first session, and the flow-on effect is quite efficient organising and decluttering.
That's why someone working with you you guys will do the big chunk of work, and then that maintenance decluttering is that much quicker.
Absolutely. And I never want a client to have the kind of relationship with me that you'd have with a cleaner, where every fortnight for forever. So my cleaner comes regularly, and I beg her, don't ever leave me, because I need her every fortnight or whatever.
Same.
Whereas for a professional organiser, a good professional organiser will actually teach you the habits and tricks to keep that maintenance yourself. And you might get them in once every 6 months for a 2-hour session just to refresh or have a look at a new space, or you've maybe got a baby born, change work situation, something like that. But you actually really want to be training people on the art of decluttering.
Because that makes them more productive and efficient, and they win back so many hours to be doing the earning. Which is where, every time we hire an expert, you guys, we are saving ourselves time and money.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt. I mean, that's the reason you did the 48-hour program.
100%.
Yeah, because you just someone said, I don't want to try to work this out for myself.
No, somebody's already beaten the path for me. I just have to hold their hand and walk along, and that's how it is with decluttering. Is you look at a room and feel completely overwhelmed, and I look at a room and I see what it can be.
Yeah,
it's the same with a personal trainer. Yeah. You know, they can actually see the ways forward. They've walked that path before. Yeah. So even though you look in the mirror and think there's no way, they look at you and think, oh, absolutely, we've got this. Yeah. And that's what you need it for. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So tell us, Amy, what are the kind of things you've got coming up? And yeah, I mean, I'm sure most people at least want to get a copy of your book. Absolutely. But I know you've put something together for the call tonight. I have. So I've got some gifts for you in theme with the Christmas spirit. I want to give you guys some things. So I'm going to give you a list of 7 things that you can declutter today. That's a really good way just to start your decluttering and look at your house in a different way. I spoke at a Christmas event last week, and the organizer had just read my book and said that once she read the book, when she walked around her house, she saw her house in a new way. And so that's what I really want to help you with through the 7 things you can declutter today. I'm going to send you some weekly tips and tricks that are really helpful. I'm going to send you the slides from tonight. So if there was something that really stuck out for you but you didn't have a chance to write it down, you can have a look back over these and really take on board some of the things. The Christmas gift list, everyone's going to receive that in PDF format, so you can print it out. You can print out 5 copies, keep it with your Christmas tree and use it for the next couple of years. But it's a really good way to keep track of what's going on. And tonight only, I'm going to offer a special price of my book of just $19.95. So you'll receive an email that has a link to purchase it for that price. I'll pop it in the chat, you guys. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Thanks, Nat. So I'm just going to send that because now you'll be able to click on the link that we have just sent you. Yep. Beautiful. So what that link will take you to, let me show you. So that'll be sent to you. I'll email you within 24 hours all those links and gifts. But what Nat's just emailed you is a link to my pre-Christmas declutter package. So I'm offering a blitz before Christmas. Yes, please. That's what I'd be thinking. So if you book a 3-hour declutter, so I come in and we hit a space hard before Christmas, I'm going to give you 1 hour post-Christmas pack-up free. So that might be, instead of roping the hubby and kids or your wife and family into packing up the Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, I'll actually come and give you an hour packing up Christmas with you. Ooh. So the value of that's $9.97, and tonight only for $2.47 you can grab that package. So the link that Nat has sent you is the link where you can purchase that package, and we'll book in that before Christmas. So that's a really special thing just for you guys. It's not something that I offer outside of a couple of weeks before December. But I know nobody likes packing up their Christmas decorations. No. It's fun. I'm actually just thinking, where can I use these 3 hours? Maybe I should buy 3 hours and then she'll come on the 1st of January and pack it all up. Because we're going on a road trip on the 2nd of January, and that's when we normally we don't like putting it down after Christmas. We like it after New Year's. Right. But then we're away till like the 16th of it is because I worked with a client, I think it was last year. Yeah. And we were working together in August, and her Christmas tree was still up in the corner of the lounge room. No way. So for some people it's so overwhelming that that's almost a declutter job in and of itself. Yeah. And some people can completely put it off. Yeah. For months and months. And in the end, she said to me, let's not pack it up, we'll just leave it up for next Christmas. God. So she did it for a whole year. Oh, so I don't want you to feel like that. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed where it just drags out. It's not the special when you take it out. No. We have one of those blossom tree light. We leave that for the whole year because I like seeing light. But that's pretty nice. But it's nice and sort of stylish. It's not Christmas. It's not a Christmas decoration. Yeah, but it can act like one. And when it's Christmas, it's perfect. Yes. And when it's not, it adds mood to your lounge room. That's right. That's right. I love it. I think this is an amazing offer. Actually, I didn't even realise how amazing it was until you properly explained it just then. Yeah, well, I'll even bring, so what I offer for my clients. So unfortunately, this offer is only valid in Melbourne unless you want to fly me to your city. So I do actually do interstate clients, but, the cost of the air flights is then added to your package. Yes. What was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. Can't remember, guys. No. My brain's been going all day and I've just forgotten what I was going to say for you. But, I was going to say for clients, I bring stock in the back of the car. So storage containers and storage solutions. So we don't waste time. When I come and see you, you don't have to nick down to IKEA. I do all of that for you. So IKEA practically know me when I walk through the door because I'm there every week buying stock for clients. So 3 hours is really probably a good 5 hours of my time overall.
Frances is saying she's in, not sure when we can do it before Christmas, but I use it for any area of the house? Does it have to be Christmas related?
Not at all, Frances. It's the pre-Christmas declutter is to get your home ready pre-Christmas. So for you, it might be the kitchen or a kid's bedroom or a hallway cupboard. Tomorrow I'm doing a lady's study before Christmas. So whatever area of the home that is bothering you the most. It's again, using December as the new February. Don't wait until February to start getting organised. Smash it out now and actually really enjoy using December and January as your get ahead of the game time.
She goes, let's do it. I will challenge the hell out of you.
Challenge accepted, Frances.
I think you guys will have a lot of fun, and I think, with what Frances does, it's also
absolutely.
It's a great way for you to check out what Amy does because you help so many people set up their homes and all that. I think so. Bring it on and bring a copy of your book too, please.
Definitely. Well, whoever books the pre-Christmas declutter will actually get a free copy of my book. That's included in all packages that I offer. So you've just saved yourself your $19.95, Frances.
And I'm in too. I'm serious.
Oh,
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Awesome.
I love it. Cool. I love it. So and I got a copy of your book for a present as well. So I'm super excited about it.
It is a great present. So when I wrote the book, I intentionally didn't want it to be the kind of book when you gave your mother-in-law for Christmas. It was like saying your house is a pigsty, here's a book.
Yeah.
It actually is a book that helps people better themselves. It's not a, you're in so much trouble and you're down in the pits and you need this book. It's actually really inspirational, suitable for anyone. It's giftable.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted when I was writing it.
No, it's good. Awesome. Perfect. Well, that's that, guys. I think it's been amazing. You've shared absolutely so much gold. Kerry's just saying thanks for all the tips and ideas. Can you email the links as well, please? Yes, so everything will be emailed up. We'll be uploading this. Amy will take this recording and also upload it later, and maybe even share that link to the upload.
And Kerry, the link is in the chat box if you want to click on that. That's got a link to purchase the pre-Christmas declutter. And it's also got a link to purchase the book at the $19.95 price.
Yes, it's got the 2 spots if you want book only or...
That's right, you can purchase either of those.
Yes. Joanne saying thanks heaps. I've learned a lot.
Thanks, Joanne.
And thanks, Amy and Natasha. Wonderful tips. Really enjoyed it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
To you. Great tips, Amy, from Pauline. Definitely will be getting your book.
Oh, thanks, Pauline.
Perfect. Wonderful, guys. Well, have an amazing evening. Bye. And stay in touch with Amy. I really enjoy, sort of following how much you've grown and how much value you add, and you really, really have that sort of, I think, that givers spirit. Like, you really share so much of yourself, which is what I always encourage my authors is like, give away your best stuff.
Absolutely.
Share with people because then they'll fall in love with you and they will want to hire you for expertise. They won't think that they can do it on their own.
No,
because they can't.
No, and I want you guys to succeed. I want you to be amazing. I don't want you to feel like you waste time every day trying to find your keys and all that kind of thing. Erin's asking, do I have a Facebook page? So if you look at Facebook/Simply Organised PO, so professional organizer, Simply Organised PO, you'll find my Facebook page.
Yeah, beautiful. The code for the book.
So you don't need a special code, Kerry. The link that Nat has just posted in the chat box actually has the price at $19.95.
It's already pre-set up just for the webinar. So yeah.
So if you go onto my website or any other page, you'll see the normal price is $24.95. But on that special link that I've sent you is a package that's just set up. So Kerry, on the right-hand side, it'll say $24.95. But if you go to the link, or if you go under packages and then follow it down to the Christmas Blitz, you'll see that at the bottom you can purchase the book for $19.95. So tell me if you can find that. If not, we can send you a special link.
When you get the email, will the book be sent out?
It'll be sent out by lunchtime tomorrow, Pauline.
Yes.
Super organised.
If the order is in, it'll be
absolutely
there before you know it.
And Australia Post are really good over Christmas.
She can see it now. Perfect.
Oh, great, Kerry. I'm glad.
Excellent. Perfect. Everyone's worked everything out. Fantastic. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year. And thank you, Amy, for coming in. It's been great to have you physically here because we're always
fun.
because we've like always have people like, you know, from the other side and you can't see them. And
yeah, it's much more fun.
Yeah, good to have my local declutterer person, professional organizer, excuse me, near my house.
Brilliant.
Love it.
Thanks,
Bye,
Erin.
guys.